Welcome back, rankers. Back from the fishing trip and also wedding. Congratulations, Heath and Christy. It was in it was in the central coast of New South Wales, and beautiful place. Never been there before. Driven around it, flown over it, but never stopped. Lovely, and they can keep their mozzies though. I've never seen such huge mozzies, and hopefully I haven't got dengue fever, but we'll find out in due course. Okay, first of all today, question from Margaret Crichton about Google News. How do you get into Google News? Good question. Google News is very particular about the way that it allows content into, or the way that it decides whether content should appear. And basically, it's got to be newsworthy. So how does Google decide that? Well, there's a couple of things that it has to look at. It has to look at, number one, the date and the time. So you have to be very, very specific, and you have to follow some strict guidelines with dates and times when it comes to Google News, as you would imagine. Also, there's some fundamental things which you need to be considering. You need to make sure that you're not having more than one article on a page. So, for instance, a long blog post page would not be good. For instance, our own blog, it would not appear, or my blog would not appear in Google News, because there's a link that you can go to and it displays all the blog posts on one page. So Google can't put that into Google News because it's a whole bunch of different stories. That's not going to work. So what you need to be doing is dedicating, every article has to have its own page. You have to have the Google date time format, and I'll show you where to get that in a second. And you also need to make sure that you actually include 3 digits in the URL. But if you're using Google Sitemaps, don't worry about that. So I'm going to tell you about where you go to get the Google News sitemap. And the other thing, of course, is that there's a lot of myths out there saying, oh well, if you have a picture in your article or a video in your article, then that's going to be more likely to get included in Google News. Boulder Dash, not so. Go and have a look at this page here if you're interested in getting into Google News. So it's that lovely little URL there, or you can just Google how do I get into Google News, or Google News Sitemaps, because it's Google News Sitemaps is what you're actually looking for here. Now it will tell you how to go through and create the sitemap and the format that everything needs to be in, and all those sorts of things. But at the end of the day, you've got to make sure that dedicated page for each article, strict date format. Probably do a Google News sitemap if you're really keen to get in there. And they're the main things that you've got to look at. And once you do that, then just wait and see what happens, and see if Google puts you into the news, make you newsworthy. Okay, next, the SEO Workshop is on the 12th of March in Melbourne. If you are in Melbourne, we've got a couple of seats left, so get in this week if you can. It's been hosted by the City of Melbourne at the Melbourne Town Hall in the Condell Room, and they're donating the room and also lunch for the event, and all proceeds, all revenue from the workshop is going to the Red Cross Bushfires Appeal. And if you haven't heard about the bushfires in Victoria, just Google it, you'll find it. So that's on the 12th of March. It's going from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. and lunch will be provided. People keep asking me, what am I going to learn in the workshop? Is it going to be something that I'm going to get some benefit from? Well, look, if you're a technical person, you'll get benefit from it. If you're not a technical person, you're going to get some benefit from it. And what we do in the workshop, and I'll just do a Google search here. And we've had 2 new guys start in the last month, and wherever we have new staff come on board, we always run a workshop internally. So one of the things that we always do during the workshop is just create a page with a junk, non-competitive phrase, just to demonstrate the process of getting ranked. Okay, so because people say, oh, I can't rank for anything, my site doesn't appear, but what they always forget about is what are the words that you're actually trying to rank for. People say, oh, I don't appear in Google. It's like, but for what words? So what we do is we drill down and focus on the things that are important about getting ranked. And it's not just getting to number one. It's about getting the right keywords, ranking for the right keywords, number one. So to give you an example of the sorts of things that we do, if you just go and type pink tree leaves, this was a junk phrase I asked the guys for the other week when we ran the workshop internally. I said, just give me a junk phrase. I don't want it to be competitive because I'm not going to go out and build links and try to rank for something that's really, really difficult and dedicate my time to that when we've got a business to run and it's not going to bring us any revenue. So the first thing you have to do is rank for a non-competitive phrase. Now, if you can do that, then you know you've got the principles in place. Okay, so this is the phrase, pink tree leaves was the phrase, right? So if you go to that particular article, you'll see that it's, it's got, well, not even 20 words by the looks of it. But the sort of things that we'll do is take you through what the site needs how the site needs to be structured, and then we'll go in and we'll create a page and show you the fundamentals of why a page gets ranked and why another page doesn't. And then we'll take you into the next area, which is if you're going for a competitive phrase, what do you need to be doing above and beyond the fundamentals? Because whenever I do a blog post, if it's a non-competitive phrase, I know it's going to rank, right? If it's a competitive phrase, I'm pretty sure it's going to rank, but if I really want it to rank, then I've got to go and do extra work external to the blog post itself and maybe start getting some backlinks. If you're in a really competitive area, then you've got to do all of these things. If your phrase isn't that competitive, like, I don't know, concrete mixer Hawthorne, which I'm pretty sure isn't a competitive phrase, you should be able to rank for that without doing any backlinks, okay? So the workshop will show you the fundamentals. If you already know the fundamentals, it's fine because it's good to go over them again. But more importantly, it will show you what to focus on. A lot of techies and a lot of designers and a lot of developers that I talk to go, yeah, I know about page titles, yeah, I know about H1 tags, yeah. But what they fail to do is put it all together in one package because they think that, oh, some things are more important than others. Sure, Google's going to weight things more, some things more important than others, but who knows what they are? The trick is, if there is a trick, is not to guess about it and just make sure that you're doing everything to let the search engines know what your page is about. And we always tell people, think about this as if it was your search engine. And I tell the guys here, we have arguments all the time about the algorithm. George said to me yesterday, but I don't think the keywords in the domain are that important. And he mounted a very good argument. I disagreed with him, but he mounted a very good argument. And then he also brought up something else about keywords in the actual URL as opposed to the domain name. And he said he'd read something at one of the sites, Stompernet, which is a big online marketing site, which was saying that, keywords in the URLs really aren't that important. Well, I said, bullshit! They are. They're incredibly important. So you don't know those sorts of things, though, unless you go through and do the process yourself. And, we've done hundreds of sites now and ranked them. And we can tell you categorically what works and what doesn't work. Are there other things that might work in addition to what we're doing? Yeah, sure. But we know that what we're doing works, so we ain't going to change it if it's not broken. So that'll be the workshop, 12th of March. The URL will be on the video if you're watching from YouTube or anywhere else. And also, just book. You don't have to hand over your cash now. We'll call you and do that over the phone for you because we've just set up a form quickly. So the form is purely a booking form. And that's it for this week's show. No more time because I want to get this one up onto YouTube this week. We keep missing out on YouTube because I keep gabbing on for so long. So thanks very much for watching. And if you want to get to the workshop, then please, we've got I think it's about 5 seats left. So hope to see you there and we'll see you next week. Thanks. Bye.